history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, not alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery, but alongside a wonderful-looking baseball field as I'm out here at the Yard House in Atlanta at the Battery, right next to Truist Park, as we are getting set up before a little bit of Braves baseball. Tom's showing the camera, Steve's getting it set up, Chad's calling his something, and, we got Brandon here as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun. But, you can see it. I mean, it looks wonderful over there. Here, point the camera up a little bit. So point that up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, get that. Hey, we got it all on the stream, D-Light. It looks great out there.
Oh, my gosh. No, Bandy, I got to say, I've been we've done some really good shows from some really cool places. But, Bandy, this has got to be the coolest stadium, the coolest studio that I've got to do my show from, and I got to say, I am blessed, I am honored, and I am ready to throw a wonderful, wonderful show at you guys today, and we appreciate you, the listeners, joining us. But, Bandy, we got ourselves into a little bit of fun this weekend ourselves, man. We got on the boat, we got on the pontoon, we got on moving, and I was wakeboarding at one point. That's perfect right there.
Yes,
Tom's the cameraman, so, you gotta wait on what he's got. He'll also be probably hopping on the show. It's going to be a little bit of a double dipper as we have Braves baseball. We get ready for Atlanta Braves against the San Diego Padres. Of course, Braves haven't found the most luck, I would say, in this series. Neither of my teams either, Bandy, have found that much luck over in the NBA, over in the NHL. The Bruins lost Game 6 at home. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's all right. I got the Knicks. Oh, no, they lose too.
Well, I mean, is it kind of expected with the Bruins, though? Like, were they just playing like a little too hot? They had to fizzle out eventually?
No, that was last year. I mean, the team was a little too good. Of course, the expectations were a little too high. You go up against the not-so-good Florida Panthers team, and they surprise you. That's understandable. But you go up against them in a rematch battle. And this time, it means a little bit more because, hey, you kind of gotta get the win. You gotta kind of follow up with a dub. Obviously, they barely pull one in to even take it to Game 6 in the first place, but you get it there, and then they lose on home ice. It's just,
you hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but again, we're focused. Oh, what, Bandy?
You know who else lost at home?
Who else?
The Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, the Denver Nuggets, yeah. Bandy, crazy.
Hey, I'm hijacking this thing right now. I'm hijacking this thing right now.
Talk a little bit about
where we're at.
Bandy, you screwed up, man. I don't know what it is that you're doing that you're not here, but you absolutely screwed up. And I just want to thank, I'm going to get over here so I can
get out of the camera.
We got Chad over here shooting some video and stuff. Let me tell you something. This is the coolest setup. And you think you've done some shows some places. I've been doing this for 26 years, and I've done the show at some really neat places. This is the coolest setup. We are literally, I could throw a baseball, and I got no wing left. I could throw a baseball into the stadium from where we are. I could get it in the stadium is where we're at. We're right in this little courtyard area here. You got kids playing on the grass and everything here. We got this Yard House, which is the place to be. Dude. This dude is so cool. He said we can do our shows here anytime we want. He says anytime you want to do a show
we're coming back.
I mean, can you imagine doing a later, an afternoon, nighttime show? And I just want to say this. I might be lying, but I think this is true. I don't think any of this existed before they built the stadium. No. I don't think I'm parked over here 3 minutes away. I'm in front of Wahlburgers, and I don't think any of this existed. And all of these snowflakes that say that they don't want to pay for a stadium, where they're building new stadiums and they want some public money to build a stadium. This is what you get.
Yeah.
This is why you want to invest in a new stadium, whether it's in Oakland or Vegas or wherever it is, and people are turning down stadium deals. People are nuts, for a lousy 3 or 4 cents per thousand tax thing. The impact that this has, the hotels, the living, the buildings, the restaurants, this is unbelievable.
And the thing that I noticed
I know I screwed up. I know I did.
Screwed up.
But
You did.
I made a commitment. I got to honor the commitment. I will be there 100% when we go again.
You break that commitment. I don't know what that commitment was, but whatever that commitment was, you break that commitment.
I respect your commitment. I will say this, though.
I have zero respect.
A lot of people questioning, the expansion team, of course, being created in Las Vegas because of the schools. The school system doesn't want to throw out the money towards it and all this stuff.
But what about all the revenue that's going to be created?
The first thing I saw when we got here was a school on a field trip to this park right here that was built up. Even though the money, of course, it's going to cost a little bit, but it makes this city just that much better, especially, obviously getting out of the former
revenue.
area.
The revenue, tax revenue that's being generated by all of these businesses. And none of this existed. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get off here. I could just hijack your show, but I don't have a show till Friday.
Yeah.
Oh,
what? I'm saying I don't have a show till Friday. So, Xander Schauffele, good job by you, beating back Bryson DeChambeau in that. All the home teams lost in the NBA in Game 7s and in the NHL in Game 6 in Boston.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Yeah. And whatever else is going on. NIL. And I learned that the Army doesn't get NIL. I know you talk about that later, but the guys from the Army and the Air Force and the Navy, they're not allowed because they're government employees.
Crazy.
They're not allowed to get the $600 from the video game.
We're touching on that.
You'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
And Braves got whacked last night.
Oof.
They got 2 today, both on our air.
Oh.
2 games today, this one on our air and later on.
It's a full day of Braves baseball.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Get out of here.
All right.
Good stuff. If you want to come back on the last segment, you can.
I got to go to the bathroom.
No, okay. All right. Thankfully, he had toilet paper earlier whenever he went to the bathroom. But enough about that. Bandy, we'll get back on track when we come back. Again, live here at the Yard House at the Battery, right next to Truist Park. Wonderful, wonderful environment. And if I had a cameraman, because now I'm alone. Now I'm feeling the flow. I don't have the pressure of all of our studio mates as well as having to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make the trip down here. We got Chad, though. Chad brings the energy. And he makes me blossom like a flower. I'll say that. That came out wrong. Chad, you want to join us when we come back? Because we got to hit a break. But when we come back, we're going to get the Grizz on. No, we don't have a guest. We got a guest. We got the Drew DeArmond from Talk Ball. So you'll hop on in the next segment. We'll talk a little bit about where we're at, what we're enjoying, what we want to get into, because, Bandy, I definitely want to talk a little bit about that trailer that dropped last Friday. I've watched it at least 15 times. And I've got some questions. I've also got a little bit of answers as well. So that's what's coming up when we get back on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Lugan.
97.7 ESPN The Zone is the Tennessee Valley's #1 destination for the finest in sports talk all day long. Tune in to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond each morning at 7. Then, the Morning Blitz with Captain Cool and the Bandiman. At noon, it's the Tom Abraham Show. Followed by Paul Feinbaum and The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. The Zone is also your home for University of Alabama and UAH Sports, plus the Atlanta Braves and the High School Sports Streaming Network. And sister station Talk Radio WZZN has Trash Pandas action with Josh Carey all season long. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Talk Radio WZZN. Listen on the air or download the apps and take them with you everywhere.
Well, about 4 hours alongside him. But I am actually alongside Chad, a.k.a. The Grizz, a.k.a. Big Brother, here at the studio.
I don't know where the camera is.
It's right there. It might be a little off of you.
Okay.
Let's take a little look. Let's take a look.
Am I there?
You're in there.
Okay, good.
You're in there.
Making
But
sure I'm in here.
yeah, Chad, dude. We, of course, had an early morning. Coming out here to Atlanta, of course, getting through the traffic, having a little bit of fun. How was the ride with Steve, by the way?
Great. I mean, they call him Tokyo Drift, but I mean, he drives like every other normal person just trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of there's a little bit of like speed, but then there's a little bit of like slow down too and cruising and everything like that. If you drive with me, apparently I've been told that I drive like an old person. So, but I just drive very like defensive aggressive too a lot of times.
I gotcha.
I'm just trying to like stay away from the crazy people.
Yeah,
I give motorcycles their leeway, all that kind of stuff. But man, it's so great to be out here.
Oh my
It's so
gosh.
beautiful, dude. What a great day. It's gonna hold up. It's gonna hold up here in Atlanta. It's gonna hold up, I think, throughout the week for the Trash Pandas too. So I'm excited about that and everything that we got going on locally too. So man, but it's great to be at Yard House and just gotta get this all in. And again, I love being in Atlanta, man.
Dude.
I'm cheesing right now.
I'm a huge fan of this area. This is the
my
first time
backyard.
I've been here, and I gotta admit, I walked in and I was like, there was nobody here at the time that I got here, so I just kind of posted up and I was just looking, just taking it in. There was the wind coming in and all that stuff. Wonderful, wonderful atmosphere. And of course, the crew coming to join. Yeah, you gotta take it. Yeah. Steve needed to look into the mirror for a second. Either way, the one downside, I will say this, is YouTube is going to have a huge time dealing with all the copyright music. All that copyright music.
We're
in the back.
talking over it. People can
Deal
barely
with it.
hear it. Come on.
Good.
Deal with it. We're talking through it. It's like one of those things you see on Facebook where the guy's like going over like a video, and he's talking to it, or he has music playing behind it, and apparently that stops the copyright.
This is our own content.
As long as you speed it up and you have music behind it, I think it stops the copyright.
I can't even tell what's playing.
It's Michael Jackson right now.
Michael Jackson.
He feels real good. Either way, good stuff.
No problem.
Chad,
Yeah.
have a little fun.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the scene.
Enjoy
just
the
walk
double header,
around.
everybody.
Get some drinks or something like that. I don't know.
Drinks.
Mimosa time. I'm thinking that after the show. I'm thinking that. Good stuff from the Grizz. Either way, Bandy, we did get that trailer and we talked quite a bit about it, all right?
Yeah.
That college football 25, it's the thing we've been waiting so long for. It's finally here. But I've got some questions. This is an interesting thing. Some of the shots I've seen, Bandy, they're almost straight up real life, okay, I gotta say. And if it was Tom, I haven't even showed him the trailer yet. He used to think that, MLB 2K09 on the PSP was real life. Dude, his mind would explode if he saw this trailer. So I'm going to have to show it to him after this, okay? It's very sunny out here. I'll have to go inside of the Yard House to show him. Of course, it's very cool, very nice in there. Very classy, I'll say that. But I look a lot. I watched this trailer 1,000 times, Bandy, okay? And the things that I noticed, actually, were the new details, the new, gear that you're able to wear within the game, all of these new things that you're not able to have in Madden. And I'm thinking to myself, well, now what's going to transition over to Madden, or are they not able to do it because it's only on the new gen, or is it because there's the old gen, all that stuff? What are they going to do in the middle of that? Are they going to be able to add the knee braces? Because those are in the game. Those are not in Madden. Those haven't been in Madden. You know what else is in, this new college football game that you're going to be able to wear on the field?
Oh, what's
You're
that?
able to roll your jersey up and show off your six-pack. We got the Ezekiel Elliott special. That's something you can't do in Madden unless you're on the Yard or whatever it's called.
Oh, wait.
So those are some-
do people even play the Yard? I heard people just don't even play it.
I don't play it. That's for dang sure. Either way.
Right.
Bandy, I got a question for you as well. I mean, of course, we're looking forward to that college football game. I mean, it's all I want to really talk about, but I know I can't. We had some sports over the weekend, but we also had a little bit of layover, I would say, on some stories that came up last week, and now we're getting to follow up on them this week. And one of them is actually focused around the Chiefs kicker, Harrison Butker. Mm-hmm. We talked about it. We touched on it. It's the Catholic dude talking in the Catholic college, giving them the message that not a lot of America likes to hear, especially the women's side of it. I'm not going to get into it all, especially not here in public. That would be hilarious. But now Andy Reid has also kind of jumped in on this whole thing. And the Chiefs have already said, the Chiefs or the NFL have said, those are his comments, not the NFL's. We respect people and their comments, so he can do whatever he wants, all right?
Yeah.
But now people are talking about how the team needs to straight up fire Harrison Butker. Okay, all right. People are just saying that. And they need to pick up, what's that kicker's name, Bandy? What was that kicker's name for the Vols? No, not the Vols. The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Dude, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. The only other kicker I really know is Dan Bailey and Justin Tucker.
Well, it's the female kicker for the Volunteers, or not the Volunteers. I keep thinking, whenever I think about the Tennessee Vols, I think about, I don't know. Either way, the Commodores, the Vanderbilt Commodores, the female kicker, all right? She is the person that they're saying, they should probably put her up on the team and make her a kicker and all that stuff. It would be hilarious to see that happen. What's her name? I'm going to get it, Vanderbilt girl. Sarah Fuller, all right?
Sarah Fuller.
That's her name. Okay. Of course, she hit maybe like 1 or 2 field goals, maybe an extra point over in college football. I'm not going to dog her. It was awesome stuff. Get a little bit of female representation in the college football world. Can't really put her at any other position. She might get, her lights knocked out. I mean, the same thing happened to the YouTuber, though. The YouTuber that was, he wanted to get into the football, and then he got into the football again after going to YouTube, and then he got, a shattered neck or shattered spine. It was terrible to see.
Yeah, and
but
I'm going to throw a question out to you.
Yeah.
Because we're going to take gender out of it entirely.
Okay, take it out.
They wanted to pick up this kicker. Would you pick up a kicker who has never taken an actual kick? Like an actual field goal. She's only attempted 2 extra points and made them. She's made the 2 extra points. That's the only kick she's done.
It's just people going online, typing their little fingers off and saying some stupid stuff. I mean, it's not, it's funny because it'd be like, this is what Harrison Butker said. They should grab the woman and put her on the team. That would be a funny, ironic moment. But the amount of talent that's going on in the UFL shows you that that's the last thing they want to do is grab Sarah Fuller. I mean, yes, it'd be a funny meme, but why would they want to disrespect the kicker that has also helped them win 3 Super Bowls? Yeah. They're not going to do that. And if they were going to drop him, they'd pick up somebody from the UFL because there's a plethora of talent. Of course, we've talked with James Larson from UFL Newsroom about all of that talent. We will continue to talk about it. But Andy Reid actually got a hold of this, and he was like, you know what? I'm standing with my kicker. And this is what I like to see. A little bit of love for the kicker. The guy that people want to make fun of because, he's so masculine, but he plays the least masculine position in football. But Andy Reid's like, if Harrison goes, man, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah, no,
Hey, the Chiefs fans are holding their breath now.
Hey, I'm going to throw this out there, but hey, being a kicker might be like probably the most cutthroat job in football.
Oh, my gosh.
Because think about it. You have one job to do. Mm-hmm. You have one job. You mess up like a handful of times, maybe like 2 or 3, you're on another team or you're out of a league.
Yeah, you get the double doink, Bandy. Yeah, and then you're a laughing stock, and you got to play for the Browns, and then you got to come back from it.
God forbid you miss two field goals from 35 out. Yeah, you're done.
The funniest thing is, Bandy, about this whole situation, the Andy Reid thing's pretty cool. There's a lot of hate that's going to go on, of course. A majority of women. He's actually sold out of uniforms. Some sites, women's uniforms have sold out. He's the highest selling uniform in the NFL at the moment. So, there might be some people who might have a problem with what he's got to say. But what's awesome is when somebody has the cojones to stand up and say what some people won't say. And look.
And also just a reminder, social media isn't real life.
Social media is not real. A lot of people are struggling, even if they look like they're having a heck of a time here at Battery, here at Truist Park. I'm having a wonderful time, though. Okay, I'm having a wonderful time. This is my office for today. That's all I got to say, and I'm having a great time. But, yeah, Harrison Butker's going to be fine. He's going to keep playing football. He's probably going to win a Super Bowl or 2. Who knows? Who knows? You know what we do know, though, is Alabama had a tough weekend in baseball. And maybe a lot of that's, a little bit because of course, the doubleheader that they had to play. Auburn played some good ball, though, all right? And I cannot wait to get into the conversation with Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball about what Alabama needs to do moving forward as they go into the SEC tournament as a 7th seed, as well as what Alabama softball is going to need to do to move forward and possibly take a series against the Tennessee Volunteers as they move on past their regional. So that's what's coming up. And after that, you guys will be able to join us for a little bit of discussion. 256-576-4977 is the number to call in. But Drew DeArmond, Talking Ball, is coming up with us next here as we are live from a wonderful, wonderful place here at Battery Park next to Truist Park. I am so excited. That's what's coming up here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
97.7 ESPN The Zone is the Tennessee Valley's #1 destination for the finest in sports talk all day long. Tune in to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond each morning at 7. Then, the Morning Blitz with Captain Cool and the Bandiman. At noon, it's the Tom Abraham Show, followed by Paul Feinbaum and The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. The Zone is also your home for University of Alabama and UAH sports, plus the Atlanta Braves and the High School Sports Streaming Network. And sister station Talk Radio WZZN has Trash Pandas action with Josh Carey all season long. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Talk Radio WZZN. Listen on the air or download the apps and take them with you everywhere.
welcome back to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, not alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery, but in our mind, just a little bit far. But either way, I am here at the Yard House, here at the Battery, right next to Truist Park, and I gotta admit, this place is amazing. This place is insane. But you know what else is amazing? What else is insane? It's our sponsors, and that is Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you have any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Bandy, I'm hoping there's one other person that probably showed up. I don't know. I'm not in studio, of course. But is the Drudy Armin in there?
He is over the phone with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. What's going on, Drew?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, and I'm sweating profusely. I'm going to be honest. I'm enjoying my time, but I'm very much sweating. The sun is right above us, but doing good otherwise.
No question, and it's going to be an interesting week. It's a big one for SEC baseball. SEC softball laid waste to a lot of the country this past weekend. Everybody that hosted, except for the Arkansas Lady Razorbacks, advanced, including Alabama. It was very, very impressive. Probably played their best softball of the year at the best time. Now they got their huge test coming up because they've already lost the series to Tennessee at home, 2 out of 3. But, I mean, all that matters right now is they're 3-0 in the postseason, and they're 2 wins away from going to the College World Series. It's certainly going to be a huge challenge playing the SEC regular season champion Tennessee Lady Vols. But right now, Patrick Murphy will take it. And his sterling record continues as far as home regionals. He's only lost 1 home regional in his Hall of Fame career at Alabama, and they went a perfect 3-0. And the pitching led the way with with Jocelyn Brisky, and then of course, as we know, Kayla Beaver. They both led the way, and then we had an offensive explosion like we have not seen from this Alabama team all year, and it was at the best possible time, as you heard on 97.7 The Zone. A 9-run first inning in the championship round against Southeastern Louisiana. And in softball, that's pretty much game over. And Alabama cruised to a 3-0 mark in the Tuscaloosa Regional. 10 running and run ruling Southeastern Louisiana 12-2 to win the regional yesterday.
Yeah, no, and that was insane. I mean, but love to see it. But another team that was able to put up some big points just a little too late was this Alabama Crimson Tide team, as they were playing up against an Auburn squad that got them in game 1, and we'll respect that one. But in game 2, okay, you get a doubleheader. It's the first one of the day. Auburn scores 12 in the span of 2 innings, 4 and 5. And then Alabama, just a little too late, 4 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, and then just 1 in the 9th to make that score 12-11. Just kind of talk about that matchup, Alabama versus Auburn, how amazing really it is to kind of look at the entire SEC and just say, you could be the best team, you could be one of the best teams, but also even the teams that don't have the best records within the conference still have that competitive nature to be able to take home some games.
Well, I mean, they played 2 games. It was a series that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and weather affected 2 of the games. They got started in game 2 an hour late. It was a 7 o'clock start, a 6 o'clock start. Pardon me. A 7. It was 7. It was supposed to be a 6 o'clock start. It started at 7, and it was delayed by rain. And Alabama, it looked bleak. I mean, they fell behind. The pitching wasn't great in game 2. They were down 12-2, and in SEC baseball in the regular season, there's an agreement within the conference that if you're down 10 runs after 7, the game's over. So Alabama was actually an out away from losing 12-2 in 7 innings, and then an error by the shortstop from Auburn opened the door for Alabama. They got a 2-run double from William Hameter. And then that kind of opened the floodgates. And then Alabama actually had the go-ahead run at second base with 1 out, and they had a chance to had first and third with 1 out, and then with 2 outs, they still had the go-ahead run at second base. And unfortunately for Alabama, Cade Snell and Matt Gassetti struck out to end the game, and they lose it 12-11. But I still think it helped kind of set the stage for the game on Saturday night. That game was delayed in the 9th inning, and didn't get over with till after 11. But Alabama, really, after the disastrous start, losing the first two games, this was a must-win game for Alabama. They fell behind 4-1 through 3 innings, and then the bats woke up in a big, big way, just like they did in Game 2. This time, though, Alabama's pitching stabilized. They were able to put up some zeros. Ben Hess got into nearly through 7 innings. Alton Davis threw the ball well. Then they went to Braylon Myers after the rain delay. But this is a big win for Alabama because they needed to take at least one game. Alabama, got to 13 SEC wins, and if you've won 13 games in the SEC, you've never not made NCAA regionals. Plus, with all the tiebreakers, there was a logjam, guys. 5 teams finished 13 and 17. Alabama won every tiebreaker, basically, and ended up with a 7 seed. So, to tell you how tough the SEC is, the defending national champion LSU Tigers are 13 and 17, but they're seeded 11. So that just goes to show you how deep this league is. I think they have a chance to get 11 teams in the NCAA tournament, which we know they got 13 in softball, but it would be a record for baseball if they got 11 teams in. And Alabama needed the win to get to 13 wins, and now I think they're a 3 seed, guys, and I think they're solidly in. But to increase their seed line and get up to a 2, they need to beat South Carolina tomorrow, and that game will be here on 97.7 The Zone about 30 minutes after the opening game, which is Georgia and LSU. And if Alabama could win Game 1 and then potentially beat a team like Arkansas, who they've already taken a regular season series from in Tuscaloosa, if they could beat Arkansas, I think they could get up to a 2 seed. So Alabama's playing for seed, I think, right now. Now, there's a couple of teams like Florida. They're definitely on the bubble. They need to win, and so does Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss could be, in theory, they could be the 12th team if they got hot, but they've only got 11 SEC wins. So I think the 2 teams in most need of wins is probably Ole Miss, without a doubt, and Florida, and then maybe South Carolina, who just did not look good at all. They got swept by Tennessee, and they've struggled down the stretch. They need to get a win, but hopefully Alabama can keep dealing them some misery on Tuesday when they play in Game 2 of the SEC tournament tomorrow in the opening round.
No doubt about that. And again, you will be able to listen to it on 97.7 ESPN The Zone alongside the baseball, alongside Braves baseball, all of it going to be here for you guys to listen to. We also, you look down the rest of the bracket, you got Vanderbilt versus Florida, Mississippi State. Playing up against, I can't even see, it's so dark, Ole Miss on this game. So, you really look at the tournament, and it really is setting up for some intriguing games. Talk about a little bit of, the tournament rules, the single eliminations, the double eliminations. When does it really start here in the men's side?
Well, after day 1, John, you'll have the double elimination starts on Wednesday. So you got what we call it drop dead Tuesday. Everybody that loses those 4 games, the 4 losers are out. And so this year, though, there's a lot more at stake for the SEC in a lot of ways because of how many teams that are in a logjam and how many teams that still have a legit shot to get into NCAA regional play. And again, to show you how tough the SEC is, you've got the last 3 national champions all playing on drop dead Tuesday. You've got Mississippi State and Ole Miss are playing each other. That's a huge rivalry as far as the Mississippi rivalry. And to top it all off, I said Ole Miss has got to win some games. They got swept in Alex Box by LSU. LSU came into last weekend needing wins to make sure they got into the NCAA tournament. I think that sweep of Ole Miss ensures that. But Ole Miss, who won the national championship 2 years ago, did not make postseason play last year. This year, it looks bleak, but they actually did take 2 out of 3 games from the Mississippi State Bulldogs earlier this year. So it was the first series win for Ole Miss over State in 7 years in the regular season. So they're playing each other. Mississippi State's playing to try to host a regional. They're in no matter what, but they'd love to be in Starkville. I think they may have already clinched it, but they can certainly go a long way toward doing that by beating their rivals from Ole Miss. But Ole Miss needs to win just to stay alive. if you had to ask me, and I told you the magic number's 13, John, I think Ole Miss has to win 2, if not 3 games to try to get the regional bid and get into the conversation. Now, some would say, are you knocking out one of your fellow SEC teams to get it? I don't really think so. I think the SEC is the strongest league in the country, and I don't really ever agree with that when they start playing SEC teams against each other. If you're the committee, you're trying to put the best 64 teams in. If you're trying to tell me that the SEC doesn't have a 10, 11, 12 teams that are among the top 64, then I think you need your head examined, because the SEC is the best baseball league, just like softball. Yeah. If you're going to put 13 softball teams in, they put them all in, then to me, the SEC should at least get 11. Now that Florida's going to have a winning record no matter what happens Tuesday. But again, if Florida wins, then I know they're going to be in. So if there's some definite intrigue, and I think all 4 of those games tomorrow, and heck, you're starting off with Georgia and LSU, and that's a now a suddenly hot LSU team. So there's a lot of intrigue in these matchups when you talk about Georgia, LSU, and then Alabama, South Carolina. That's a big one. And then Vandy and Florida, because Vandy is coming off of a kind of a poor weekend. I know they got a big win over Kentucky to cost the Wildcats an SEC championship, regular season title. And then you've got you're wrapping it up with a really good matchup with Ole Miss State. So to me, it's as intriguing as any matchup that we've seen in a long time as far as first day, because there's so much on the line as far as regional hosting or even just getting in the tournament. So there's a lot to watch for and a lot to like about the SEC tournament coming up in Hoover. And as always, we're going to be the home for the SEC tournament on 97.7 The Zone.
No doubt about that. Good stuff. Drew DeArmond from Talking to Ball. That was presented by Mercury Motors in Alumni Hall. Drew, when we get you back on Wednesday, dude, we're going to have a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, Drew DeArmond. Again, catch him on Talking Ball. Bandy, when we get back, we talk about the parity of the SEC baseball scene. You get these great teams making it all the way to the national championship, winning that in Omaha, and then we run it back again, and those teams are somewhat nowhere to be found. And that parity is quite amazing. But you know what else is quite amazing? The parity over in the NBA. Yes. So we'll be hopping into a little bit of that when we get back here on a really, really fun day. Dude, I just got to, this place is amazing. I'm just going to just soak it in. Here, let me get you on WZZN TV. Let me see if I can. Oh, okay. My cameraman's gone. They all left me. I'm here alone. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just, we'll get out of here in a second. Either way, you're listening to the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen to Talkin' Ball.
97.7 ESPN The Zone is the Tennessee Valley's #1 destination for the finest in sports talk all day long. Tune in to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond each morning at 7. Then, the Morning Blitz with Captain Cool and the Bandiman. At noon, it's the Tom Abraham Show, followed by Paul Feinbaum and The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. The Zone is also your home for University of Alabama and UAH Sports, plus the Atlanta Braves and the High School Sports Streaming Network. And sister station Talk Radio WZZN has Trash Pandas action with Josh Carey all season long. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Talk Radio WZZN. Listen on the air or download the apps and take them with you everywhere.
What can go wrong now and down the road without expert help? That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior we're your partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
What if I told you that Bigfoot is real and that he's making the best donuts you've ever had? Come see for yourself at Bigfoot's Little Donuts. Come in and order from over 50 flavors, all made hot and delicious. Ranked in the top 100 donut shops in the nation by Yelp. Bigfoot Little Donuts. Order in store or online at bigfootslittledonuts.com for pickup or delivery from Grub South or DoorDash. South Parkway, Huntsville, and County Line Road, Madison. Bigfoot's Little Donuts.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello and welcome back to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool here live at the Yard House here at the Battery, right beside Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Going to be looking forward to a lot of great baseball, and you guys will be able to tune in and listen to the doubleheader today on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day for some ball. Got to admit, I am sweating profusely. The sun right atop my head, maybe making my thoughts go left, right out my brain, because half the time I'm forgetting where I am in the first place. I woke up very early today, all right? And I had to ride 2.5 hours, 3 hours with Tom. So understand how that is. A lot of country music. You know. He started tending to my needs a little bit more, playing older country music. The newer stuff, he even realized, he was like, what are we listening to? Yeah, this is garbage. And he turned it on to a different channel. We got that old country music going. But Bandy, I talked a little bit about, the parity in the SEC baseball scene. But, I mean, it's crazy to think about, It feels like it was only yesterday when we were just getting the same teams over and over again. The Golden State Warriors kept winning, and the Cavaliers, back and forth a little bit. Throw the Lakers in there a little bit, too. But if you look back on the last 5 years, going on 6 now, we're going to have 6 different teams winning the finals for 6 years straight. Bandy, talk about how amazing that is for basketball.
I mean, you'd love to see it. It's some of the best time to watch basketball if you're a basketball fan. And let me tell you, with the Game 7 last night between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I have never seen a better game in like the last 5 years. It was, for one, being down 20 for the Timberwolves to come back in the second half and go on a 31-3 run. A 31-3 run to take the lead. And then Rudy Gobert, I followed this team for so long with him on the Jazz. Yeah. I have never seen him play like this before. Everywhere on defense.
It's awesome, baby.
He did a turnaround.
Awesome. I'm going to have to cut you off, though. I'm going to have to cut you off on the NBA talk. I'm sorry.
He did a turnaround jumper from mid-range. I've never seen him do that, and he drilled it like he was prime Dirk.
That's awesome, baby. That's awesome. My brains are scrambled right now. What is going on? Okay, we got a band over there. All right, the Braves band is coming by. So that's what sounded like a rocket ship taking off. I got Michael Thomas here, not the wide receiver, but the guy in charge here at the Yard House in Atlanta. Michael Thomas, how are you doing today, man?
I'm great, man. It's great to be here, and it's super fun to have you all out on the patio.
Ah, dude, it is amazing to be here. Kind of just talk about the atmosphere that you get to kind of rock with almost every single day, being a part of this Braves team?
So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a great ballpark. It's a great area with what Cobb County, Atlanta, Georgia have done for the Battery. And I've worked in a lot of restaurants my entire life, and this is absolutely the most fun. It's smiling faces, fun families, people chugging beers. The place is an absolute madhouse 24/7. And even not on game days, man, it's a fun place to be.
Oh, I bet it is. I mean, I walked in here. It's my first time getting to really see this place, because the last time I came in from the opposite side, it was a whole nother city. You know, this is a whole nother little place that you can come and enjoy your time, have a lot of fun. Of course, there weren't a lot of people just 2 hours ago, maybe even an hour ago. This place filled out so quick. They're getting ready for baseball. The festivities are insane. I mean, you just gotta be happy with this type of environment, man.
And you gotta think, this is a Monday flyaway game.
I know.
Right? So imagine on a Saturday day game, 4 o'clock. Memorial Day, I think, is going to be the place to be here. So it's a 4 o'clock day game against the Nationals. Federal holiday. It's going to be a zoo.
I am
14 hours.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I hope we can get back out here. Appreciate you letting us be in your backyard, pretty much.
Thank you, sir.
Again, you guys come and check out the Yard House here at the Battery. Michael, good talking with you, man.
Thanks, man.
Good stuff from him, Michael Thomas. Not the wide receiver, but the guy in charge here at the Yard House. Good stuff from him. Bandy, I'm so sorry I cut you off, man. I had him waiting. I was trying to prep some stuff. You know, we're in his backyard. I had to talk to him. I had to save the show somehow. I could hardly hear you even over there. Continue.
You're 100% fine. Great. Always good to have on. Hey, thanks for letting y'all come to the Yard House and just be able to chill out.
Oh my gosh, dude! These guys are chugging beers right in front of me, man. I thought I saw Sam Hartman walk by a little bit ago. He's put on some weight. I mean, just the scene that's here. I'm going to get off this chair. I'm going to show you guys over on WCZN TV, over on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Bandy, you can continue to talk, but I'm going to show people a little bit of what's going on here.
But still talking about this parody a little bit. I mean, the Minnesota Timberwolves have right now become that really kind of threw me off. He just cut off all of the sound. But the Minnesota Timberwolves have been, I would say, my favorite team to watch in the NBA right now, because they are an all-defensive squad. They all want to play defense. Everybody's stepping up on the court. Rudy Gobert being everywhere, putting on it, being the best player in the court alongside Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards, a little slow to start, but then had an insane fourth quarter. And then sixth man of the year, Naz Reid. I don't know what else I can say about Naz Reid that hasn't already been said. But again, everywhere on the court, everywhere in every defensive possession, there was nothing he gave up. He gave everything on the court, and it showed out with multiple blocks in the fourth quarter, multiple key rebounds, able to make some key plays as well on offense. Dude earned that sixth man of the year title, and I cannot wait to see this team go up against the Mavs in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Bandy, how much time we got, man? I'm going to try and set up some news channel type of stuff. All right. This is the news channel type stuff. Bandy, do you see me over here? Do you see me? Am I good in frame right here?
Yeah, you're good.
Guys, stick with us, man. You got Braves baseball coming up, playing off against the Padres. Put down in the chat below. Call in later on or something like that. Who's going to win? What's the score going to be? I can't wait to see it, guys. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm probably going to get a little bit drunk. Respectfully, though. I'm not driving. Either way, for me and the Bandiman, we will see you guys in 23 hours at home. Let's go, Braves. I got to get myself some merch. I'll see you next time.